Good morning, and welcome to Meditation for Wisdom in Democracy. And we're gathering because our society is choosing, and we think it might help us to have a little mindfulness at this time because there's so much happening day by day, and things do feel very, I don't know, sometimes really dire, sometimes hopeful. I mean, it's a bit of and there's so many opinions, so many thoughts, so many interpretations, so many opportunities to listen to people think, not think. And so we just want to make sure that we're ready for the journey through this choice, and that we're doing our part to bring a mindful awareness to that. On a micro level, individually, our choices kind of serve us best when we're receptive. We take in everything we can. So we take in all the data. We have space for our thoughts and our feelings. And ultimately, our decisions come from a place of wise knowing, just knowing what's right the best we can. And even then, we have no ironclad guarantees. Sometimes that knowing is really strong and clear, like I absolutely know this is the right choice. After a lot of processing and thinking and feeling, sometimes that knowing is still, we do our best. But we're more likely to really include everything that we know about ourselves and everything that we know about the world, if we can have a mindful space to hold awareness and not be instantly kind of pushed around by our own mind, which is what we're working on this week, is to make sure that our own thoughts are of use to us and don't feel like tyrant, don't control us in a negative way. So, developing some mastery over our own thinking processes involves, in mindfulness practice, really just involves taking the time for listening and observing. So today, what we're going to meditate on, piggybacking on yesterday, is we're going to listen to sounds. Eventually, after getting in touch with body and breath, where we always start, we're going to listen to sounds, and we're going to hear them as novel events. So the novel part is, I can hear a sound, like I can actually hear some crickets outside. Those words, crickets outside, those are thoughts, and those are labels. The sound itself is really a unique experience. And so we just kind of want to enter into the world of sound, our ears being like passive receivers, like microphones that just take in whatever is given, letting ourselves experience those sounds as those events that have a life of their own beyond the label that we give them. That's such a small decision to make, which is to choose to kind of take my awareness into the actual sound and not into the label. The reason this is important is that our mind helps us all the time by labeling so many things. It can become kind of automatic, and it kind of is the way the mind or the thought processes kind of turn into a form of tyranny inside of our own existence. We can trust it too much, and we can believe that that's what reality is. It's not. It's more than that. It's a label for reality. So actually experiencing what's real, which is a sound that has a life of its own, it has its own texture and energy, and it lasts a certain while um, that's that's a whole different thing. So today, that's what we're going to do. And I just became aware that I didn't bring my little device in here that has the gong on it. So let's actually just use the world around us as our meditative gong. Kind of maybe just take a moment before we formally start just to listen for 30 seconds. So, are you able to notice the difference between the actual sound and the label your mind gives it? And that labeling process is not bad or wrong, it's there to help us. It just isn't the same as the actual experience. And the process of labeling has a tendency to kind of maybe separate us from the actual experience of our lives and put us in an automatic pilot. Maybe the label has opinions attached to it, or aversions, or other tendencies. And the hard part is that this labeling process could be something that's applied to ourselves, you know, which actually could separate us from our actual being. So that's why, this practice is so rich, is that we may not realize how separately we're living from ourselves. How alienated we are by our own mind from our actual being. So let's begin our meditation. Let's again come back and see if it's possible just to listen for about 30 seconds. Your ears opening up and taking in what's around you, even my voice. And hearing all those sound events as a way to begin to bring awareness to the present moment. And then bringing awareness to our bodies and finding the posture we wish for this meditation. And noticing your feet on the floor and noticing where you're connected to your chair or where you're lying down, that contact. And embracing that with awareness, a sense of being grounded in the present moment. And then turning the spotlight of your awareness towards the sensations of your body, starting with your feet and ankles and calves and shins, adding your knees and your thighs. And adding your hips, waistline, pelvic area. So that everything below your waist is in the spotlight of your awareness. Taking in any and all sensations that you find there, welcoming them. This is your actual existence in this moment, your actual life. And then adding the abdomen and the lower back, the sides of your torso, all the way up through your chest, your back, and your shoulder blades, shoulders. And adding both your arms all the way down to your hands and all the complex sensations there in your fingertips. Noticing the sensations on the surface of your body and from inside your body. And you'll begin to notice that the breath is there. And then adding the neck and the throat, the face with the ears and jaw and mouth, nose, eyes, brow, and all of your scalp, the hair. So now your whole physical being generating sensation after sensation, opening up to it. And then noticing how the breath is moving in and out, all on its own. And resting there for a while in awareness. Sometimes this awareness comes easy, and sometimes the mind is pulling us elsewhere. It's okay either way. Just keep coming back. Letting the body be just as it is with each breath. Letting go of any tendency to control what you notice with each out breath. And then opening the ears to the world of sound. So many events occurring that have nothing to do with me. Just taking them in, seeing if it's possible to listen and hear the actual sound, noticing the tendency of the mind to label those sounds and just choosing gently to continue to immerse awareness into the sound experience. Sounds far away, sounds close by, even sounds from within your own body. Each sound a unique event that appears and disappears, comes and goes. If this becomes too difficult, return to the breath in the body and start over. And then letting go of any special attention to sound and turning the same receptive awareness towards the events that we call thoughts. Observing thoughts appear and disappear. Each thought and event that spontaneously occurs and then fades. Noticing the tendency to be stuck in a thought or to be able to step back and observe it. Seeing if it's possible for you to find a place where you're not trying to make more thoughts and you're not trying to make them go away. Just observing thoughts as events that come and go, all on their own. You may notice that some thoughts have an instant impact on the body and on feelings, and seeing if it's possible even to observe that. And as we bring this meditation to a close, remember that our thinking mind that we've been noticing in this meditation is a useful energy that we're seeking to befriend. And we're living with the tendency in our human experience of this thinking mind becoming a bully, a place of chronic negativity, worry, fear, ruminating on the past, dreading the future, opinions about everything, including self. So we want to befriend this energy, and we also want to see it as at our service, not the other way around. So letting yourself to come back to body and breath, feeling your feet on the floor and your body connected to where you're sitting. Noticing what it's like to imagine a new relationship with thought emerging from this brief meditation. And then opening your eyes, and we don't have a gong right now, so letting the world around you resonate in your awareness. You can look around your space, receive it, be grounded. I hesitate to say much because we just spent some time exploring the space where we're kind of turning our typical way of being on its head. We so trust our own intelligence and thought process. As Descartes said, I think, therefore I am. And our response to Descartes in this meditation is, I notice what I think, and I discover myself. And I can choose. For many of us, if we've had any experience of loneliness, abandonment, especially in our childhood, we may have turned to our own thought life and made a parent out of that. And given ourselves security by our ability to think, label ourselves and the world around us. And that's sad, because we had to do that all alone, maybe. It's a pattern I've noticed in my work. We get stuck in our thought life because sometimes it's all we have. And letting go of that and discovering, wow, this observing self is really full and complete. So thank you for spending this time. And let's be aware and mindful of how many people are kind of imprisoned in a form of thought control, manipulated. Even abused by opinions that degrade themselves and degrade other people, degrade society. It's kind of a dangerous power. So tomorrow we'll meet again and we'll talk about Again, the freedom of self that we experience when we make space inside for awareness. When not everything in our experience is just instantly labeled. So have a wonderful day. We'll see you tomorrow.